guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Georgia and today I'm going to be testing out the Revlon ColorStay Foundation. This is the combination oily one in the shade 110 Ivory. I believe this is the lightest shade they do. It says 24 hours wear, combination oily skin, wears up for 24 hours, flawless look, lightweight feel, SPF 50. But I have had quite a good few things about this, like a lot of people do use it, and I did use this one like years and years ago, one of the first few foundations I used, but I haven't really used it since. But I'm gonna be wearing it today and giving my thoughts on it, so if you want to see that then keep on watching. I'm gonna be going in with my beauty blender today. I just feel like it's a beauty blender kind of day, you know, so let's get a bit of this on here. It's quite thick, not really thick, but it is quite thick. And I'm just going to go and put it all in my face then, I guess. Just taking probably too much. Since when do I not put too much foundation on my face, really? But yeah, I'm just going to blend this in. It's quite a good colour match for me by the looks of it. As you can tell from like kind of what I put on my face here to up on my forehead. It's not really too much difference or anything, which is nice, seeing as this is the lighter shade. Sometimes it's hard to get the lighter shade in the right undertone as well, but as I think this one is okay for me. I do usually go for the very lightest shade in a foundation range, unless they do have a lot of colours there, then you kind of know that maybe it might just be more like undertone based. But as it's kind of the lightest, palest shade I go for, usually like Revolution F1, F2 sometimes. What other ones do I use? I use the Colourpop Pretty Fresh foundation in 20N and then moisturiser in 1N. I use It Cosmetics in Fair and the Maybelline Superstay in True Ivory 003, I think it is. I will put a little card there to my foundation collection, just so you can kind of see what other colours I use, just to see if this one will work for you. Obviously it's different for everybody, but just so you know sort of similar products I use. But as this is looking really nice for now. This is a different sponge to what I usually use. This is more like not a silicone, but it has more of a silicone sponge feel to it compared to just like the Real Techniques ones is just a straight up sponge. This one feels a bit plasticky to me. So I don't really know it does much to the foundation application. But it's looking quite nice for now. I'm going to put a little bit more on in places that you want a bit more coverage. Just because I don't really use concealer much anymore. I don't really put it underneath my eyes or anything. I find it just gets a bit cakey otherwise, especially once you put powder on. But I will just go with a little bit more to see how much I can build up this coverage. I do think it has given quite a nice finish so far. Doesn't feel too tacky or anything, which is surprising seeing as how much I did put on. But it doesn't really feel too tacky or anything. Before I set it, I am going to go in and do a bit of contour and blush. I'm just going to use my Fenty contour stick in Amber. And then the nude sticks, nudies, all over face colour in Naughty and Spice. These are some of my favourite products. I absolutely love these two. They're just so easy to use as well, especially because they are in the like stick form. And then taking my nude sticks, blush, and putting a bit of that on there. I never know how much blush to put on, but it always just seemed to like disperse quite well. I'm just going to see how well it blends in with the sponge at first. I do usually use a brush to blend this in, but just thinking because I've already been using the sponge and I just want to see what's going to go like over the top of the foundation. Everything has blended really nicely. It looks really nice, like natural as well as like a nice enough amount of coverage. Doesn't look too cakey or anything, and it does match my skin tone really well, as I think, so it's nice for that. It doesn't really look like I've got too much makeup on or anything. Okay, I'm gonna go and set it with my Colourpop setting powder. This is new. I absolutely love this at the moment. I got this probably my last Colourpop haul, and I've just been using it non-stop. I just like because it's maybe it's just because it's such a big container. And I don't really use setting powders that much. I tend to just go for like the pressed powder, but I just really like this one. And I really like using it under my eyes as well to kind of get the eyeliner really nice and straight. Okay, so now it's all set and everything. I think it looks nice. It hasn't necessarily given me like a really transformed or really smooth look or anything, but it doesn't really claim to do that. It's not necessarily like, oh my god, the best foundation I've ever tried, but it is nice. It is pretty decent. It does look nice and everything on my skin. My skin is a little bit dry at the moment anyway, so that could contribute why it wasn't like its absolute best. But otherwise, I do think it is quite a nice foundation. Quite a nice sort of basic one. It does look nice, and it probably will be one that I use again and again. Like I said, I used to use it when I was a lot younger. Can't remember how I used to feel about it, but obviously I liked it because I used it. It has become sort of like a favourite of YouTubers and stuff in past years, so I thought I'd give it another go. And I saw it pretty cheap on Fragrance Direct as well. I'll leave the link for it down below because it was such a good price on there. Normally, well, foundation could be anything from about £7-8 up to 12, maybe more, but I think I got it for like £5 something, which is a good price for it. They don't always have all the colours on there, but they did have this one, so that's why I decided to go for it. I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and then I'll come back afterwards and I'll let you know how it's going on. Then I'll probably keep it on for a few hours as well, and I'll do a little like check-in then to see what it looks like. But as at the moment, it is looking pretty nice. So I finished off the rest of my makeup. I used the Nikki Tutorials palette by Beauty Bay and I actually really like it. I've done another video on that as well, so go check that out. But otherwise, the foundation looks pretty good at the moment still. It is like slightly creasing around my nose a little bit, and I did rub off a bit here because I accidentally got eyeshadow on my chin somehow, but otherwise it does look really nice for now still. Obviously it hasn't been on for too long and I haven't really done anything in it yet, but the rest of the makeup applied nicely on top of it, like the blush, the bronzer and the highlight and everything. So it's just a case now of seeing what it looks like in a few hours time. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock now. The foundation's been on my skin about 7 hours. It's still looking pretty good. It hasn't separated or gone like orange peely or anything at all. It's looking pretty good. It has creased slightly under my eyes, and also just around the nose and then on my chin here, but that's where foundation would normally crease on me anyway. But otherwise, none of it's really come off, none of it's really separated or moved. All my other makeup went good on top of it and everything, and it hasn't really moved or anything since, so it's been good for that. Nothing has really changed on my forehead there at all or anything, so it's all good for now. Overall, I really do like this foundation. It has lasted nicely on my skin. It hasn't got shiny or oily at all. It is just a really nice foundation. It was a nice colour match and everything for me. So yeah, I think I'll definitely keep using this foundation. It's a nice one, and like I said, I managed to get it for a good price on Fragrance Direct. Otherwise, you can get it from like Boots or Superdrug as well. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it's helped you make some choices about this foundation or the shades that you should be choosing. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye!